Hey everybody, it's Andrew back again, and I have something pretty special here today. What is here is the Asus ROG Flow Z13, the 2025 edition, running the AMD Strix Halo processor. It has been pretty darn special. It also has some really killer integrated graphics. We're looking at the Radeon 8060S, and this has been pretty special. It's rivaling that of a RTX 4060, 4070. I've not only been able to game on this, I've been able to edit videos in DaVinci Resolve. I've been able to do all my work on this. It's got a gorgeous 2.5K display, 13.4 inches, 180 hertz refresh rate. Simply gorgeous. It's bright, it's sharp, it's everything you'd want in a display, especially with that 180 hertz refresh rate. You get a really nice detachable keyboard that comes in the box, and of course one of the nicer ones, well-built machine, of course. The key travel is really good touchpad. It has pen support, and of course I don't have the Asus pen, but I am using the HP Tilt pen here. Worked perfectly fine, so it's using the same pen technology. I believe it's the MPP 2.0 Microsoft Pen Protocol. And it has some pretty decent sound on it and a really gorgeous design. It's probably one of the nicest built or most well-built two-in-one detachable that I've seen to date. It's got a really nice kickstand. It's got an upgradable SSD slot that you can access. It's a 2230, so it's a small one. And then of course it has a window here lighting up, and you can control that within the Armory Crate app, and of course a lot of customization. You can go back as far as you see here. This has got to be pretty special as far as I'm concerned, as one of the best two-in-one detachables and one of the best integrated graphic solutions, as I mentioned. We're going to find out why I think this has been a home run hit here by Asus for here early 2025. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is the Asus ROG Flow Z13, brand new for 2025. Coming up. All right, so let's start off with the build here, and this has got to be one of the nicest, well-built two-in-one detachables on the market. So you're covered in a really nice metal design frame here. This has got a rubberized grip to it. Of course, this is the cover here, and such a well-built machine. Now, this is a detachable keyboard. So like the Surface Pro devices, it detaches through the magnetic connection through the pogo pins. It's a very secure connection, so you're not going to be losing it. And I like the fact that it gives you the raised typing angle. So that's going to give you a really nice, comfortable typing experience. Now, one of the things I love about it, it has a really nice IR webcam. So if you want to log in with face recognition, you can. And of course, that has worked out pretty well here. And one of the stars of this device has got to be this 13.4 inch display. It's an IPS display, but it's bright. It's got excellent contrast, good coverage of the color gamut. It's color accurate and good white point, good black point. So a really excellent job here. 2.5K resolution. And here's the thing, 180 hertz refresh rate. So that's going to give you that very smooth, very fluid experience, especially when it comes to things like gaming and stuff like that. You are definitely going to see that on this as far as really come through. But the big star here is this AMD Strix Halo processor. So, and in fact, I'm going to have to get it on my phone here. I cannot remember the name, or in fact, I can just look it up right over here on the system settings here. This is probably just the quickest way to do it. The AMD Ryzen AI i9 Max Plus 395, and it's running the Radeon 8060X graphics. So what does this mean for you? Well, this means you got an integrated graphics solution that's going to rival that of an NVIDIA RTX 4060 to 4070. And judging by the numbers, judging by the 3D Mark scores, you definitely can actually make that comparison, and it does hold up. As you can see, excellent Time Spy, Firestrike, all the great examples here, Wildlife Extreme, they are all excellent results, rivaling that of a dedicated GPU. And that's where the breakthrough comes in here. That's where this is a literal game changer. Now, speaking of gaming, you definitely can play some of the games. You got to play with some of the settings, obviously, but judging by these really good results here, I think this is certainly excellent in terms of a 2-in-1 detachable that is capable of very good gaming performance here. And having that 180 hertz refresh rate on this is certainly excellent. Gives you that very smooth, very fluid experience. Now, as far as the performance of the single and multi-core, we're talking about very good in both areas. Obviously excellent as when you look at the Geekbench 6 scores, as well as when you look at the Cinebench 2024 scores. So definitely very good. Now, I was also able to use this to do video editing in DaVinci Resolve. I was able to run the Puget Bench DaVinci Resolve benchmark. That worked out really well, comparable with that of others on the market. So again, those have dedicated discrete GPUs. This doesn't. This is an integrated solution that certainly punches above the weight class. This has done an excellent job. So as far as doing work like any other Surface device, it definitely can handle it. Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, everything worked out really well. Now, I don't have the Asus pen, like I said, but you can use this to sketch out artwork, diagrams, and the like. Using the pen has actually worked out really well. So I'm really happy that obviously this being a 2-in-1 detachable, it has the pen support. Now, as far as the weight and the size of this, it's a little bit on the chunky side. Obviously, it's housing some really interesting cooling solution here, but it's got some pretty nice overall feel to it, a little bit of weight to it, but again, you are getting a lot more performance you would get than on, say, a Surface Pro device or something like that, which is going to be thinner and lighter, but you won't get nearly the performance you're getting on this. Now, great I/O. On the left, you have 2 USB-C ports. You get an HDMI port. You also get the proprietary power port. And then on the other side, you get a headphone jack, a USB-A port. You also get a programmable button, a volume rocker up and down, and your power button. So pretty nice I/O for this unit. And of course, you have a micro SD card reader. That's on the left side. So excellent to have that. I'm really, really happy. Now, as far as expandability, there is a slot underneath the keyboard here. That's going to allow you to access the M.2 2230 SSD. And I have a terabyte in this unit. And as you can see from the reads and writes, definitely more than enough what you need for this 2-in-1 detachable. So very fast reads and writes. And I like the fact that it's user serviceable. Just unscrew this, pop off the plate, and you have access to the SSD. If you need more storage, you need to change it out. Now, the kickstand on here is really, really good. The hinges are on really well engineered here. So very good, sturdy solution here as far as how they put the hinges on that kickstand. And again, great magnetic connection for the keyboard. Now, the keyboard has really good key travel as far as typing out documents, emails, and the like. It has a multi-stage backlight. You can control that in terms of the different colors and the lightings and all that stuff, the RGB effects, all done in the Armory Crate app. And it has a really nice integrated touchpad here for scrolling, doing all the gestures. It's a traditional style touchpad. It's not haptic or anything, but it is definitely very responsive and does a good job here. So very nice in terms of this keyboard, detachable keyboard that you have here. So very good. Now, one thing, you can't use the keyboard detached. It has to be connected through those pogo pins. Would have been nice to have something like we saw on the Surface Pro with that Flex Pro keyboard with the battery in it. I don't think we get that here, but this is a very good keyboard solution for certain. So this is the camera on the brand new Asus ROG Flow Z13 here for 2025. They're looking at 1440p video here. It's an IR camera. That means you can log in with face recognition with Windows Hello. It's also got the studio effects, the background blur, the auto framing, all that is here. What do you think about the video quality, and what do you think about the audio quality? Let me know in the comments section below. Now, when it comes to audio, I would say it's good, not great on this. Definitely want to use some really good headphones. Does have a headphone jack, thank God, but it has pretty good sound. So if you're watching a YouTube video, you're watching a movie on Netflix, Amazon, stuff like that, Hulu, you know, whatever, it definitely can do it. So definitely doable there as far as that is concerned, as far as the sound. But I want you to be the judge. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, let's give it a listen. Okay, now as far as battery life is concerned, I would say it's pretty good. I ran the PC Mark X Modern Office test. I got it just a shade under 9 hours, which is actually impressive considering what this is packing under the hood. And it's definitely a step up over the prior generation and that 13th gen processor, that Core i9-13, I think it's 800H or 900H, whatever it was. Definitely don't expect all-day gaming battery life. It just doesn't exist in any device. This one, again, 1 to 2 hours at most when you're on full blast gaming. But again, mixed use, real world usage, you can get 7 to 8 hours, just depends on what you're doing. Now, as far as the cooling solution here, very nicely done here. It doesn't get overly loud, even when you're pushing this under heavy load, and the fans were kept at bay, and it didn't get overly hot in terms of the back of the unit. It really stayed at bay in terms of the temperature. So overall, pretty good cooling solution. And I saw very little thermal throttling when I ran the Temps by stress test. So pretty good overall performance when it comes to the thermal solution on this device. Now, one of the downsides of this, I think, is going to be the price. Now, it's going to be off-putting for some people because if you're going to be spending this kind of money, over $2,000, you might as well look at a dedicated gaming laptop, not the two-in-one that we're looking at here that might have a discrete GPU. So you might want to consider that. But if you're somebody who needs a versatile device that wants to use this in tablet mode, as well as being able to use it as a laptop replacement, having the ability to do some pretty good gaming on this, having the ability to do content creation and video work and Lightroom, Photoshop and stuff like that, then you're starting to talk about how this brings value to you. And again, at $2,000, it's not cheap, but you are getting a premium build design and a premium display. That's for certain. I would like to have seen it come in a little bit less, but you know, you have to pay to play. And it's running a cutting edge processor with a great integrated GPU or integrated graphics. And I will say that they've done a fantastic job. Now, the biggest downside, like I said, is going to be the price. But if price is not the issue here and you're looking for an AMD-based Strix Halo processor, this is definitely one to look at in terms of that. Now, a couple of things to note here. There's no Oculink port. There's no dedicated graphics port like we got on the last one. You'll have to use the USB 4.0 port on this, and you can connect to an external GPU and stuff like that. That's one thing if you were looking to do that. Again, the graphics performance is pretty good on this, where I don't think you need to do that, but if you wanted that little something extra, you can still do it. You just won't have as much throughput as if it had a dedicated Oculink port or something like that, or the dedicated port they had on the last one. Now, that's one negative of this device, besides the price. And I would say there are very few negatives after that, right? So they've done a fantastic job on this. Excellent display, excellent performance, great keyboard, and great kickstand on the back. I like the expandability of the storage. So overall, a great package. But I'm curious to know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about it. Now, I'm trying to make a push here for 200,000 subscribers. So if you're a casual watcher of my content and you haven't already subscribed, why not subscribe? It doesn't cost anything and it helps support the channel. We're getting closer. We're at about a 187,000 plus, almost a 188. So we'd like to get to that 200,000 as soon as possible. And I do appreciate that, of course. Now, links for everything will be in the description below. It will be an affiliate link. So that means I get a small commission should you buy through me. And that certainly helps go to support the channel. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video.